dual set.
안녕하세요. Noonas
podcast.
Hey!
We're getting better at this. We're definitely getting better at this.
We are. We should do our own gestures. So whenever we are on live on video in the future. So.
Oh yeah, we have to come up with some kind of gesture.
Gang gestures or gang hand signs.
Well, it might be ever revolving like BTS's, because BTS's before was like the kind of like the gun thing, like kind of like GOT7's, and then I know it's changed into a different thing now. I like TXT's. Theirs is cool actually, because they kind of they cross their thumbs and they make it to like a T and an X, so it's kind of like their name. It's really cool. I'll have to show you when they introduce themselves on stage. But anyway, hello everybody. It's the Noonas podcast. We are back again this week with some more K-pop album drops, and I guess we're going to also kind of go talking into this week about an upcoming debut that's actually happening relatively quickly. I mean, in relative terms, considering I've seen other groups like take forever to debut, and aespa's kind of like this debut for aespa's got pushed out really, really fast. I mean, they're debuting on the 17th, so they'll be out right before, which I think this is stupid because BTS has their comeback right on the 20th. So
and they also have another debut in the month, which is ENHYPEN from Big Hit, or another.
Yeah, Big Hit and
Big Hit.
Yeah, it's B-Lift. It's a combination of Big Hit and CJM Entertainment. So I think it's kind of half owned by Big Hit. I mean, they were part of the reality show as it was anyway, but we'll have to maybe get into ENHYPEN next week before they debut, because I kind of want to talk about the show a little bit too. I watched a little bit of their reality show, Island.
Did you?
I watched a little bit of Island. I was a little mad one person on the show did not get in because I felt like this was his last chance, because he's an older member. He was an older trainee, and I felt like this was his last chance. And he was really good. He was actually raking towards the top and somehow did not get in. And I know a lot of people were mad, but
that sucks to hear.
Yeah, it was tough. I hope he debuts as a solo artist. Cross my fingers. But
of course, yeah.
We might have to talk about ENHYPEN next week, especially with their teasers coming out. I have a feeling we're going to get more for them too coming. But yeah, I mean, this week we got 2 more album drops. We had Monsta X's 3rd album, Fatal Love, come out back on Monday the 2nd. And we had Mamamoo's 10th mini album. Travel. Thank you. You can tell it's been a long day already today. I cannot focus today. But yeah, Mamamoo's 10th mini album, Travel, came out on Tuesday. And yeah, I mean, like I said, we're still keeping up with these big releases. I think we're starting to finally hit peak, I think, last week in terms of all these releases. I hope we have, although we're just talking about this. We have still 2 really big releases that happen.
Yeah, man.
Right,
it's like the equivalent it's like the equivalent of the Hollywood blockbuster in the summer. But with this, it's like fall time for K-pop industry to just come out with anticipated albums or releases, comebacks, all that good stuff.
All the good fun stuff. I mean, hopefully once we get past the new year, we'll start, things will start slowing down a little bit, and we'll be able to talk maybe some other stuff. But right now it's just been pumping out of new music and really good music. And I guess before we get into album reviews today, we actually had some breaking news in the K-pop world. At least breaking this morning. I remember waking up. I woke up first thing. We were recording on Friday, November 6th here. Of course, as this is breaking, as we're also recording during when we're still figuring out what the election results are here in the States. So, needless to say, I've been avoiding. Like the plague. Jean's been avoiding. I've been basically burying myself in K-pop the whole week just to self-soothe through the stress. I've honestly been nonstop listening to ATEEZ and Stray Kids all week, in between other stuff. But my main lines of happiness right now have been just ATEEZ discography and Stray Kids discography.
Yeah, my right now is binging through NCT World, the reality TV show, and a bit of Lord of the Rings as well.
Yeah, we got to find a way to make us happy. But we had some sadder news come out this morning. So it was announced early this morning stateside. So I guess it was more yesterday, I guess afternoon in Korea. But it was revealed that BTS member Suga actually just underwent shoulder surgery. He had torn, and this has been an injury he's been dealing with since before debut. I think he originally, and it's known throughout the fandom, he had this injury well before debut. He got into an accident when he was because he was doing delivery too, to earn money on the side, because you don't earn money when you're training. And he got into an accident because he got hit by a car when he was making a delivery, and basically, in less plate terms, but he basically fucked up his shoulder, and to the point that he couldn't b-boy anymore. He could really b-boy dance when he was first training and stuff, but he couldn't really do much of that anymore. So his shoulder has always kind of been an issue for him. Occasionally flares up and stuff. I know it flared up for him. I can't remember. I think it was 2017 or 18. It flared up on him, or it flared up because I know they were there's a video of them going on where I think V from BTS is carrying Sugar on his shoulders as they're like coming into the stadium, and the rest of them are kind of playing like security detail. It's a really cute clip, but I think his shoulder was bugging him at that point. But
I see.
I guess it got to the point, and I saw this too with Map of the Soul 1 when we had night 2 of the show. During the first set of the show, so like to start the show off, when they were doing On and the what was the second song? But they were doing the first couple choreographies, and he wasn't moving his right arm. Like, he was still doing the choreography, but he was holding his arm close to his stomach and basically trying not to jar his shoulder. So something was wrong with his shoulder at that point, and I don't know what miracle drug they gave him, because they gave it to him after that, and he was fine the rest of the show. But yeah, I mean, okay, not that was right shoulder, his left shoulder. That's the one that's bad. It's his left shoulder. And so it came out this morning that he got diagnosed in 2019 with a posterior labral tear of his left shoulder, which is a pretty significant injury. And he thought, he'd be able to treat it as it goes, but it got to the point that got really bad. So he actually underwent surgery on Tuesday for the labral tear in his shoulder. And because of that, he unfortunately cannot participate in comeback activities for the upcoming album, which drops on November 20th. So he won't be, unfortunately, able to perform the choreography when they're on stage. So I think I know I've seen a lot of groups be able to like have the members sit on their side and sing. I know that's what they did when Jungkook got injured during the 2018 leg of Love Yourself, when he got injured overseas. Like he had to sit. He had a it was a pretty severe heel injury that like he couldn't dance. And it broke him. I'm not gonna lie. He was really upset that he got injured, but he basically sat on the side of the stage and was able to sing, but he couldn't perform any choreography during the show.
I think he was like maybe on like a rotating chair, and then I think he was able to move like for a bit. But it's just like,
and at least
it was a big thing.
It was a big deal. I mean, the good thing is his members are like super like perceptive of like how he's feeling, and they were able to kind of cheer him up. But I know for him as a perfectionist, like it broke him. Like he couldn't perform. That's why I think when they went overseas in 2019, that was a huge deal, because he could finally dance again when they were doing the overseas leg of the Love Yourself, Speak Yourself. But shoulder surgeries take a while to heal from. I know the recovery is pretty long and arduous. I don't think he can do anything.
But the thing is, he's had that like before the debut, so he's had it for a long time. So I'm wondering how they can do to like maybe help like recover, like get it to and to improve, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't think you can do anything with it for like 6 to 8 weeks, and then I think it's like 6, 8 or 12 weeks. I can't remember, but it's like a few months, and then you can start working on doing rehab with it and start kind of building it back. So it's going to be a long process. So, and I know they had to put something in the statement about his military, because they're like, because he is getting close to being into enlistment age. Because they put it into it, but they were also doing it to help with his military, because occasionally people can get out of military service because of injuries. And obviously, I don't think he wants to do that. So they threw something in there because, I mean, obviously, because before people speculate. But yeah, so unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see Suga to being able to dance on stage at this next comeback. So comeback's kind of a little bit more of a somber mood now. It'll be kind of sad to see them on stage as a group of 6 instead of a group of 7 performing. I mean, I've seen other groups kind of get through it when they have members injured. I've seen it happen a lot with ATs because there's one of the members, Jong Ho, has like a perpetual leg injury that kind of keeps flaring up for him. And I know that sidelined him for like Wonderland, besides other injuries I've seen, but like, you know, they power through and they make it through. And from what it sounds like, I know there was some talk on the Weverse today. I know some of the members were reaching out to some of the fans and like saying he's doing good. He's like, I mean, he's sad that he can't do it, but you know, he's getting better and stuff. He's resting. So
I think, you know, I think that's all like the Army should like maybe, you know, care about, just his recovery and that like he gets better.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for too. I'm hoping honestly to have just for a smooth recovery, you know, smooth, as painless as possible recovery. Surgery is no fun to.
Yeah, and I hope like it doesn't feel too bad about like missing out on like the promotion too. Just hope like you know, like get the fans just to like cheer him up, and that's all he can hopefully be able to appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we're seriously sending all the best to Suga. Hope, like I said, hope the recovery is good. Glad to know that the surgery went really well, and now he's just rest up. And I don't know, hopefully maybe he can produce some really good stuff while he's, you know, bedridden a little bit. So, but I guess we'll go moving on from that kind of sad news. But I guess we'll go into our first album review of the week. So our first album review actually came from an album that dropped on Monday. Actually, weirdly dropped Sunday night over here in the States. They actually had 1 p.m. Korean time release. So it actually, with the time change, because daylight savings time, it ended up being 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. So that was way earlier than I'm used to for a K-pop album release. But we had Monsta X's third full-length album, Fatal Love, drop with its single Love Killa. And yeah.
I'm sorry, did it make you anxious?
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm sorry, did it make you anxious?
Did it make you... Oh my God, Jihoon doing that. That is seriously the first thing he does with the swagger he does. And that has now turned into a freaking I got you with the San one that I sent you, and
and I'm still very mad at that. I will not forgive you for that.
It's occasionally a thing where like songs like that have like that kind of mood, like because Love Killa is a pretty sexy rap song. I will say this, it's very rap heavy.
yeah,
but
I think they excel in like doing some kind of like that really dubstep heavy, like almost like a dubstep heavy bass type of like genre with Monsta X. Like I think that's what they're known for.
Yeah, they definitely more lean towards the hip hop side, but I mean their vocals are still like there's some of their more vocal directed songs are super good too. But I didn't make you anxious is like it's almost, I feel like, iconic. It's like it's a very iconic kind of like
hopefully
swagger thing to them. I think so, because I mean I've seen it take off on a bunch of like people making fan cam edits with it on Twitter. That's how I found that one.
They should have put that for the elections. Like, oh, I'm sorry, do I making you anxious?
Don't give people ideas because they might do that now. So
I don't doubt. I'm not looking at like the internet right now, but you know, hopefully they would make some kind of edits with that thing going on.
I have seen. I mean, I haven't dug deep, but I'm sure there are definitely some K-pop edits related to the election, because it would not surprise me at this rate. But let's not talk about politics. Let's talk about Monsta X, shall we?
Yeah, of course.
Let's talk about this album, Fatal Love. I mean, honestly, it's a little more different than what I'm used to with Monsta X with their releases. They tend, I mean, as of late, like I feel like they've been a little bit more vocal heavy. I mean. In terms of their music, like with Find and Follow, and then with their previous release this year, even Fantasia, which I think I like Fantasia a little bit better than Love Killa. Like that grabbed me quicker.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think that fantasy, like succeeds more in like being more appealing than Love Killa. It took me a bit of a while to get me to like at least appreciate Love Killa and like appreciate like the memes that's going on right there and there too. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's all I could think about.
Yeah, I mean, because like Fantasy really grabbed me because it had that dubstep kind of twinge that they have with Monsta X's sound, but it just still felt like a really like dancey song, which a lot of their like the stuff I like from them usually is a little bit more dancey. So
yeah, I think it was like the fast beat that like made us like feel more pumped up, and I think with the one with like Love Killa, even though it tries to slow down, if you would go for like a slower beat, I think it would be, I guess, for my taste, be a bit better if you have like a more like a jazzier feeling to like the song, like something like what aespa would do. So I think
okay.
that's was kind of like making me like kind of not grabbing for the first time, because I think because in the slower beat they still retain some of like their heavier synth bass and like into like their song. So that's why it was like okay, didn't grab me that much.
Yeah, I mean that too, and then the music video is it's very dark and like it's very dark and chaotic because they're definitely like parking on this like whole like criminal thing. Like seriously, one of the members is like it's like American Psycho, like the plastic furniture and the plastic outfit. I was like, this is some like dark shit. But I mean, they kind of play that like bad boy darkness a little bit. I think they've seen that more now with their stuff. I mean, they've always been a little bit more progressive with their ideas and stuff. I know, like a couple of their earlier music videos, they were actually playing with ideas of like homosexual love and stuff. I mean, it's not like explicit, but like there's an idea of like that kind of love, and I can't remember which music video it is, but it's
I know like
pretty
they're really
progressive.
supportive of the LGBTQ. I just like didn't see that. I have seen Warrior check out many clips for them, like showing their support for it, or like any music videos. So maybe you could like help me out with that, Jenny, and like suggest me like some of those themes in there.
I might have to later. I mean, yeah, they've been around for a while. I mean, and they're definitely one of the more groups that have been trying to make more of a splash in America. I mean, they had a full length English album come out last year. Was it last year or earlier this year that their English album came out? Because I know they had an English album, and it's actually a pretty solid album. Outside the one collab they had with Pitbull, because that was just I don't like Pitbull.
Me neither.
Like it's really awkward, especially when you get to Pitbull's rap, because he literally starts rapping. It's like literally starts counting as he starts rapping. I'm like, yeah, this is why I don't listen to you. No, it was in English. It's like 1 to the 2 to the 3. I'm like, wow.
What?
It's
okay.
It's bad. It's bad. No, All About Love came out actually earlier this year. Because that's the track, that's the album that had Who Do You Love on it, which I actually dig. I dig that song. That was actually getting some airplay over in the States too. They were really pushing that track. But it features French Montana, and I really dig that album, that song. I also dig. They also have a music video for "You Can't Hold My Heart." That's a fantastic like visual music video and such a really good song. It definitely is more. It's more electropop R&B style. It's definitely more different. It's also the last album that features Wonho before Wonho unceremoniously got pushed out the door. That's a whole. I guess maybe we could touch on it a little bit, but he got pushed out of Monsta X at the end of last year. This is also the same time that the whole Woojin thing and Stray Kids happened, so it was like insane. But he got pushed out because it came to light that apparently, I think it was like he owed somebody money. It all came basically to fruition that the person lied, and he like never got his due justice and got basically kicked out for nothing.
Yeah, it was like so unnecessary, and it's kind of like so reckless of like companies again, like kicking out like members out of before getting into like conviction, I guess.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. He was kicked out because there was rumors that he was using weed. Because apparently in Korea, weed usage is like a big no. Like you can't do any kind of drugs, like even weed. Which obviously here in the States we're more like, oh, weed, that's nothing. Like
I think weed is less dangerous than tobacco itself. So I'm not.
And you've seen enough movies and dramas, like they definitely like, well, a lot of movies, like there's people smoking it all the time, even in Korea, and it's like, and yet they like frown upon weed, and weed has been proven not to be like as bad. But I mean, again, Korea's super conservative, so. But
it's really ironic in a way of like what their standards hold for Korea.
It is. I know some of their standards. I mean, it's not like the BI situation in Icon where he was doing LSD. Like that's pretty strong stuff.
Yeah,
like on the spectrum of illegal drugs, going from weed to LSD is like extreme. So, and that was at the same time too. Oh my god. Yeah, like that seriously, it was like the three of them. It was Wonho, Woojin, and BI all like at the same time were getting kicked out of their groups. It was just insane. But yeah, so Wonho, unfortunately, like I said, got unsuccessfully kicked out because it eventually came out the rumors for him actually smoking weed were false, and he was no longer in a group. But thankfully, he's now gone on to be a solo artist with his comeback earlier this summer and his abs.
Yeah, we're not gonna forget about that moment.
Yeah.
It was just pretty strong debut.
Go watch Open Mind, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about. So,
yeah. It took like the ones who are not into K-pop. They were like, who the heck is this?
Who is this man?
This freaking like man, like showing his abs in full glory. Is like, what is this?
Oh yeah, and they are abs you could wash something off of. Oh my god. They are like the definition of washboard abs. Anyway, they're probably even sharper than that. Anyway, but going back to the album itself, I was considering, I know they've kind of were going more into this like electro pop R&B-esque style, and now they're kind of going back to their original style, which is more like the dubstep heavy stuff. It's nice to see them being able to flex kind of back and forth between that. I think, like, because a lot of groups, like, I know, like, obviously sound changes and stuff, but their sound has been pretty, they've been pretty comfortable with what they've been doing in terms of their sound, I think.
Yeah, I think I would think so too, but I'm not really. The thing is, it's hard for me because I'm not entirely familiar with Monsta X's discography. Like, I only like listen to some of like their their hit singles, like Hero, Shootout, and it's not like it's difficult for me to like be able to differentiate and like hear like their different sounds. But for like hearing for the first time, like the whole album with their recent one for the first time, for me, I don't really remember it that much. It's not really much of a memorable album for me. Like there were some songs that I would like be able to like distinguish, like, oh, I like this beat. Like, and the last one is like super different because maybe a bit jarring, but it just like feels different for like their previous tracks, which were so heavy, and like the last was like so chill and like really soothing.
Yeah, no, I think you're talking about Sorry, I'm Not Sorry. Yeah, that's a bit of a whiplash turn at the end of the album because it goes, because like I said, it's a pretty heavy rap oriented dubstep like album, especially when you get into stuff like, I think my standout tracks I think are Nobody Else in Beast Mode, which I was surprised to find out Beast Mode was helped out with Eric Nam, which I did not expect Eric Nam. Yeah, that's something I know Eric helped, and that's totally not his like style at all, because Beast Mode's like a super hype track, and I was like, wait, Eric Nam helped with this?
I didn't know that. Eric, oh my gosh.
So yeah, Eric helped out with Beast Mode. Eric Nam, I know I was very surprised too. Also because
I like Beast Mode too. I think that's like the song that I would like from out of their tracks.
Yeah, Beast Mode is a really hype track. Like I think I'm throwing it on my workout list. It's a really amped up track. I also like Nobody Else. Also, I know I had to point out on Nobody Else, that is actually the first track that Hung Won actually is credited in doing all production, composing, and arranging. That's his first one ever.
Cool. Nice.
So I always like seeing idols starting to branch out and starting to produce their own stuff. So
yeah. That's all things about like people saying like K-pop, like, oh, it's so manufactured. Oh, like companies like make their own songs. It's so nice to see like so many like would break that case and like artists can create and like write their own music too. So
yeah, I mean, I'll say this, like, it's not my favorite Monsta X album. I definitely I go back more to Fantasia from earlier this year in terms of like my favorite stuff that they've released in 2020 besides their English album. But because the English album is pretty solid, again, like I said, outside of Pitbull. There's some good stuff in there. So if you want to take a dive into Monsta X, like, you could start in their English album. Again, I warn you, it's a little bit not the same as, though I say Who Do You Love does kind of fit into their discography a little bit. Like, it definitely has that dubstep kind of esque sound that they have.
It's what they do best. It's
what they do best. It's what they focus on. But yeah, I mean, I will say this: I'm maybe flirting becoming a mom baby, but it's I have so many groups I already like stan. It's hard for me to fit another one in, but they've been kind of flirting in terms of like I'm a periphery of maybe I have to take another look into these guys and like going into their back catalog and stuff. So I've been kind of possibly digging into it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if I turn into a mom baby or not. So, but we'll, I guess, move on from Monday's release to then Tuesday's release. So we actually had the next day, Mamamoo dropped their, like I said, their 10th mini album, Travel, which was just like a 5-track album that they've been teasing this for a while because we had the pre-release with Dinga come out a couple weeks ago, which was a pretty fun track, I thought.
It's a funky beat. It's a very 70s funky beat.
Playing off that whole disco-esque kind of sound that we've been seeing throughout K-pop currently, and well, in pop music in general. So, but yeah, they came back with their 10th mini and with their single Aya. And I guess I just want to hear. I really do dig Mamamoo's sound. Like, they are a very unique sound in terms of K-pop girl groups. Like, again, we talked about this last week with Twice, where they have like, the cutesy, kind of like, approachable girl, schoolgirl kind of thing. But Mamamoo has just always been kind of like this, like, more sexy R&B-esque, jazzy, like, approachable sound.
It's such a mature sound with like Mamamoo, and I think that's one of like the first times where I started getting into a girl group when I started listening to more K-pop. So yeah, I really owe everything to Mamamoo, like being the first group to make me appreciate like the girl groups more.
Yeah, I mean, they are iconic. Just I mean, they're so different also because with their looks and their style. Like, Wasa is just, her features are so like defined and stuff, and I find her gorgeous. I know there's people like who apparently don't think she's gorgeous. I think she's stunning and gorgeous because she has such different
like
features.
Because she's not the skinny like standard type of like like K-pop girl group idol. Like, she's like her own thing. Like she looks like more of like those American like female artists, and how they look like with like more of like a curve. Yeah, like a curvaceous, voluptuous like figure. That's how I describe her.
A little bit more like that, more like fuller figure, voluptuous like kind of figure too. And I really dig that look to them. They always have.
And she's the same age as me. She is the same age.
Really?
Like, yeah, like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing with my life?
I mean, I wondered that too, as being somebody born in '89. I'm like, what have I been doing with my life? Because I'm seeing all these really talented people younger than me now, and I'm like, so. But I mean, yeah, like I said, we had Mamamoo come back with their 10th album with Aya, and Aya was like, it took me a couple days to finally watch Aya because I've just been, again, it's been election dread here, and I really dug it. Like, it definitely still kind of fits on that like sexy, sultry, like exotic vibe that they kind of have a little bit.
They borrow a lot of elements of like a bit of like a Middle Eastern Latina, like very strong in the Latina inspiration from like their music. It feels like, because like the music video and the visuals of it really reminds me of like their previous songs like Go Go Baby and Egotistic. Like, it's such a really warm, really hot, like sizzling like visuals because they use like a lot of like warm colors to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's like another one like Mamamoo's like signature. It's like they have like I guess like two sides, like the Latina, like the Latina side to them, or like their retro more like a funky inspired beats into like the hip.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
Like,
hip
for
is
example,
more
yeah.
hip. Like I would really hit more with like Dinga, and then yeah, I'd say Aya's more like egotistic in terms of their sound. Like
Yeah, and
if you
how
want
they
to like
look, like
put
their
them in
visuals.
different schools, yeah. If you want to put them in terms of like there's the schools that they kind of delve into, and yeah, I mean, you could tell even with the styling in the music video because there's a lot of exotic, and I mean, I'm wondering wait until this gets like because this has apparently been the thing as of late where international K-pop fans have been kind of like ragging on people like taking Middle Eastern.
Oh yeah. I think
Because
with
we had this
Blackpink
happen.
and
Yeah, we had with Blackpink, and we also had it just recently with
NCT.
NCTU with Make a Wish, which
Mm-hmm.
again, I mean, okay, except for the outside, I'm actually using the visage of like a holy temple in Muslim religion. Probably was not a good idea, but the whole song kind of has that Middle Eastern feel. It kind of has a bit of that, it's kind of, I understand what they were doing with the styling, but that being said, I know most groups have to like watch out now because K-pop is becoming more international. So, but
Yeah.
in terms of this, like it still felt like it connects it with the song in terms of like the sound and stuff because it's not like they're just picking the design and like they're including the music and they're really the kinds of like styling you get from Middle Eastern music, like the flutes and the drums and the percussion and all that within it. And again, with their more soulful R&B-esque sound, that all four of them have amazing vocals throughout.
Yeah, and they really blend well together. Like they're blending up like their vocalizations and the rapping. That's why I really appeal more with like Mamamoo's like side of their music more than like anyone like or with Blackpink or Twice. It's just like like they really flow well in their voices.
They definitely do. I mean, this is their first EP as a full group this year because they did have a couple solo releases. Because I know Solar had her solo debut with Spit It Out, which was really good.
And then with Hwasa with Maria and Moonbyul with Eclipse, and everyone got their solo except for We, and she only just did like cover songs, and I kind of feel bad for her.
I know, I'm like, we want you to come. We can come out with some solo stuff, please, because I know she can. Hopefully,
did she have her solo career yet? Wien?
It's a good question. I hope she gets.
I don't believe so.
In terms of what, like
doing like an actual like solo act, like if she debuted as a solo,
yeah, I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see if she does, though. But I know like it's been kind of a chaotic year, especially with Hwasa, because she had an injury earlier this year because she herniated a disc, so she actually had to cut promotions for Maria short, and that actually was caught on the reality show she shoots on, I Live Alone. Apparently that clip went viral of her actually slipping her disc, unfortunately, because she's practicing the choreography for Maria. And yeah, unfortunately, the injury was so bad that she had to cut promotions on the song, which sucks because everyone's getting injured. 2020, y'all. 2020, it's an evil year. And then also, I mean, it's interesting because she just did the Hwasa just did the song with Refund Sisters, which was basically
Don't Touch Me.
Don't Touch Me, which is an amazing song. You should go check it out. It's got 4 generations of K-pop women, like strong women in there. You got Jungwa, Lee Hyori, Jessie, and Hwasa in there. It is a banging track. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love the show Hang Out With You. I really need to, or How Do You Play? It's either way you translate it. It's a fun show. I know he's UJ Suck's been doing a lot of stuff with like different, because he was doing some like trot stuff and all this stuff, and then he apparently helped produce the promotion for with Refund Sisters. That's how they got together and made the song, and it's a really fun song. You should go check out the video for that. Like, I mean, just for Hwasa and Jessie alone, but the fact like you got some legends like Jungwa and Lee Hyori in there too. Like, idols from the like who are in their 40s and 50s who are still performing and are just still super
Yeah, and they're still
badass. It's
kicking it, and
amazing.
and they're still looking fresh, and they're still looking good. It's just,
Oh my god, I know. Like I saw Jungwon come out, I was like, "Dang, girl, you look good."
Yeah. I'm not familiar with that much of Hiyori and her as well, but yeah, I'm really like getting into like the older acts from like the K-pop back then. So yeah, it's really cool like seeing them back on the scene.
Yeah, it's fun seeing kind of like these blasts from the past and stuff. I mean, we've been kind of seeing a little bit of that too. I mean, not to mention, I've been streaming Black Cat since that video dropped on Friday. ATEEZ did obviously this I've talked about ATEEZ cover of Black Cat Nero. They did a version for Halloween and threw in as a total surprise to me. I literally screamed when I saw this cameo, the cameo of Kim Jong-kook from Turbo, who did the song originally at the end of the video, and I like screamed so loud because I was like, I was not expecting that clap whatsoever. So yeah, it's fun seeing like some of the older idols coming back and like doing like stuff like this. It's fun because hey, they like to perform, so why not? Like it's fun seeing like the legends come back and do stuff. So but yeah, I mean, I really dug Travel. It's very exotic. It does kind of make me want to travel a little bit.
Yeah, like look at the first opening track was Travel. It really gives me like that if you know like B52, like their like songs like Rock Lobster, The Love Shack from the 80s. Yeah, so like the one of their songs called Rome, it's one of those music where those like atmospheric sounds makes you want to like go out and fly out. But too bad with like the situation we're living in with COVID-19, it's super it's super bummed. It bummed me out. It just like I really wanted to like go travel like with that music with Mamamoo's Travel. It's really magical. Like for me personally, it's so atmospheric. It's so like very airy, and that's how I would describe it. Yeah, I wish I could like travel these days, but
I think a lot of us do. I mean, I've been feeling the same way too. Like this is kind of a nice breath of fresh air because it kind of gave me those like exotic travel vibes where like you're going off on an adventure, and it's a fun almost like nice like almost escape in your mind you can kind of do right now since we can't travel because of COVID. So I mean, I think I might
that was inspired by that like that kind of like content and song, the themes behind it.
I wonder too. I wonder too. It'd be interesting to see. I wonder if they'll break down the album. I know occasionally some groups do break down albums, so it'd be interesting to see what they do. I'd be also interested to see if they are able to do anything. I don't know if they are confirmed to perform yet for any of the award shows because I'd love to see Aya obviously being performed on stage. I still need to watch the choreography practice because the music video, unfortunately, the editing is so choppy. Like I can't get a good idea of what the choreography looks like. Thankfully, they have dropped the choreography practice for it, so I'm actually looking forward to digging into that and seeing the choreo from it and seeing how that looks because their choreography is always super sexy and stuff. Like they've utilized a lot of stuff in their choreography, but they've utilized stripper poles in their choreo. So this was another really strong outpouring from Mamamoo. Like I'm always impressed with what they put out. They don't
also like
rush.
and also I want to sorry about that interrupting, but also like speaking of like a musical technical aspect, even though I'm not really like a full expert of like analyzing music and the instrumentals, I like how like each song transitions into like the next song. I think like with the music keys like from Travel into Dinga, it has like a similar like key, so it really makes it connect well. And I like how it like transitions into more of like a calming, soothing song with like their last track called Good Night. So it's it gives you like a good direction of like where you should like get your emotions into. And I really dug like how it sounded like in like how they produced the music.
Yeah, the only album I can think of that laid out something like that was RM's last mixtape from which was Mono, because that also had the whole flow of one track going into another because he didn't even call it a mixtape, he called it a playlist because they literally all flow into each other. But it's I mean the production side of it is just insane. Like again, just Moonbull, like she's a killer producer. Like she does like a lot of the writing and lyrics of it, and she knows her stuff. Like there's a reason why she like writes a majority of the music and the lyrics. So
yeah. I kind of want her and then Suga to like collab together because they're like both rappers and they produce like their music for like their groups. It's just like I kind of feel so much like similar vibes between those two.
Man, I know. I got so many dream collabs that it's like I know Moonbull is actually really good friends with Jin from BTS, actually, because they're both born in '92. So she's part of the '92 crew. But yeah, I mean, with Ken from Vix and Sandoval from B1 and A4 and Honey from X, like they're all really good friends with one another. But yeah, she's such a great producer and stuff. So like she knows her shit, I would say. But it's. I really think
my favorite female rappers in like in the K-pop industry. I like her so much.
She's up there in terms of like strong rappers, strong powerful rappers. Like again, I'll put Suga in that. I'll also put Changbin from Stray Kids in there too. He's a very strong rapper. I'm not going to go into me complaining about Mnet again because that's a whole debate for a whole nother day. But we should probably maybe get into, because I know we're running a little long today because I feel like I'm a little rambly, but I think we should maybe go ahead and talk into this upcoming debut we're going to have on November 17th. So we're going to have a huge K-pop group debut happen with SM Entertainment. They are debuting their first girl group since 2014, which I guess I didn't realize Red Velvet has been around that long. But yeah, they haven't had another girl group come out since then. And so we're going to be enjoying the debut of aespa when they come on November 17th with their single Black Mamba. But the interesting, I guess I don't want to call it a gimmick because I don't know if it's a gimmick,
maybe.
Let's put a concept. Let's put a concept. So the interesting concept that they're going with is that it's a 4-member girl group, but they're also going to have these CG avatar-esque personas also that are going to be performing with them.
Yeah, so it's like their avatar. It's like half of like a real band and half of like a virtual group, which is like a bit like calling into like the Vocaloid from like Japan or like even the Gorillas in the UK. So for me, like it's a pretty interesting. It's a rare thing for like a K-pop industry to pull. And we're just wondering right now if it's going to be a successful thing that they're going to do.
Right. I mean, and this is where I think I'm more on the pessimistic side, which I know some people who know me, I'm like, wait, Jenny's pessimistic? I'm a little concerned about this debut for aespa because, I mean, we've kind of seen some of it already in terms of some of the avatar renderings coming out for the members. I know the biggest one was for Winter when her avatar came out, like, it came out that her avatar was very stylized, very feminine, like almost like a video game in terms of she had a very narrow waist. You know, she's very endowed up top, very narrow waist to the point like people were like, where are her organs? You know.
Yeah, I think the same with Karina too. Like when she first showed her like her aespa avatar, like it's really like it's really skin tight like her costume, I guess. It's very like like those like ideal like almost like an anime ideal girl type that men would be really into. So I do get their concerns to Jenny.
Yeah, I mean, because we see it because because you have Hatsuki Miku in Japan. That's like a huge deal, for like the virtual K-pop, and or virtual J-pop, I should say. And then even in K-pop, we have KDA, which is a group based out of League of Legends. I know a lot of, which I do like some KDA stuff. Like, actually really good. I know they just had another song come out because they usually release it in like lieu of like League of Legends, because it's based on the League of Legends video game. for the tournaments and stuff. And so I've, and like, but I don't see like that being super hypersexual in any way. Like it's just the sound. And then they always usually collab with like other artists and stuff too. I know they collab a lot with G-Idol and stuff, but yeah, it's, I mean, based upon what we've seen in terms of like the style, and like they're kind of going off in this whole virtual, and like they're talking about establishing this whole virtual like world where fans can interact with them. Like they're creating this like whole like virtual hotel, it sounded like, where like they can kind of like people can come in and interact with like the virtual idols. It just seems very sketchy. I mean, considering we have a country that's currently still reeling from the Nthrum scandal, which I don't know if you heard about Nthrum, Ginny.
Right. Yeah, I think if you just like recap on what this is. I think I'm familiar with, like,
Nthrum was a huge scandal. I'm trying to think. Nthrum was either ended last year, beginning of this year, but basically came out there was a lot of women, especially younger women and minors, that were forced into having to produce sexual content that was sold online, and they were made into a lot of them were made into deep fakes for men to obviously use. And and the deepfake thing has been a huge issue too over there too. Apparently, a lot of deepfakes do use the likeness of female K-pop idols into pornographic visage. Like, there's a lot of really kind of gray area, dark area that have into the recesses of the internet that I don't dare to go into. But I mean. This seems like it's blurring that line a little bit more, and I think it could get really dangerous. I mean, it's a young group. I mean, and they're really, they're really, really young.
Old they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're super young. I mean, they're barely debuting. I mean, Karina is a 2000s child. Giselle's 2000. Winter's from 2001, and Ning Ning's 2002. So, you're talking about 18, 19, 20-year-old girls here. And then people are going to be, possibly using, besides their avatar selves, but, there's still the risk of people with the whole deep fake thing, and some of the sexual culture over in Korea in terms of like, there's been scandals with web, spy cams. That was a huge scandal last year. The Nth Room kiss scandal, which was horrendous and horrible. This is just gonna, I worry. I kind of worry about.
It's a pretty good concern too. Yeah. I don't think whoever decided putting up like this kind of concept, not sure how well they thought this through. And also, if you want to get into like a more like a technical aspect, other than like possibly being exploited in like a really bad way. Also, like the amount of budget that they're gonna have. I know SM's like really rich, like they're a really expensive like company. But I've known this with like being such a fan of Gorillaz, like how in their later years in their career, how it became so hard for them to like produce a lot of like animated videos or animated avatars like for these characters. So I'm just like wondering like hopefully. I'm not sure how much they're going to be spending so much money for like those avatars. So if it comes to like a part where they're gonna look at their budget, like, oh shoot, like we might probably need to cut down a bit. Maybe they're gonna like put like the avatars into more of like a merch production, I guess, instead of like promoting in videos and all that.
Yeah, I also wonder, like, how are they going to do it when, like, they're performing on music shows and stuff, too? Like, are we going to have, AR where the avatars are dancing with the real members? Like, how is that going to work? Like, there's so many questions.
Yeah, I think maybe if they're going to be debuting on, like, those, like, music awards shows, I think they'll be, like, depending more on, like, the real members to perform live on stage. And if they're really confident, if they do, like, a live concert in the future, maybe they can, implement some of their avatars into the stages, like, with like Tupac and some other like concerts where they use some holograms and all that. But maybe right now they should just start things slow and just like depend more on like the real members more than just like the avatar. Because that's what SM needs to be working on, because they're really not great at like managing their groups or like managing their groups well. So, hopefully they should, look over this new group, like the really young group, and be able to provide them or, give them more light.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting because, I mean, this is also the same company that has EXO, which is currently dealing with the military. Obviously, they're going into the military, so they won't be having as much input into, I think, their finances as of now. But, like, you have NCT also under SM, and the many groups that break off of NCT. So, and it'll be interesting to see because, like, I know NCT's budget's kind of insane too because you have, you have NCT Dream, you have NCT 127, you have Wave B.
Yeah.
And then you also have, Red Velvet. And I know fans of Red Velvet are very, very worried because the last time SM debuted a girl group, which was Red Velvet, the previous girl group really got shafted and basically ended. So I know fans of Red Velvet are very worried about where SM's like loyalties will lie in terms of production and stuff because I don't think Red Velvet's close. I don't think Red Velvet's close to ending at all. But I mean, we had the whole scandal earlier, and I feel like that kind of pushed out this whole aespa thing really quickly because, like I said, they're rolling out a lot of stuff about this, and they're debuting on the 17th. So, and I've seen groups take longer to, premiere groups. Like I think Treasure took a while to, build up their whole collective. Of course, Treasure is like a 12-member group, but still. It took, it took them a while to build up the hype and stuff. Even in Hyphen, I mean, the show's been over. Island's been over now for a month. It's been over for I think like almost 2 months now, and they've been kind of just doing more side stuff.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure like how aespa if they have like their own previous reality show because I know like they've teased like some Easter eggs with aespa like through like previous music videos with Super M or with NCT, but it's still like the news of them and I know like there's been some rumors of like SM like debuting a new girl group this year but it's still it still took us like a bit of surprise that they're announcing it very a bit sudden, and especially after the announcing it right after what happened with Irene. So it's just it's very getting us caught off guard. I guess.
Yeah, it's just the timing. Like I said, the timing is just weird after the whole Irene scandal, and it's. I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out. Like. Am I going to check it out? I probably will just because of morbid curiosity, I guess.
Yeah. And also, I'm really proud of them. I hope, the best for, these girls, who are, just really aspiring to become, as successful as, SNSD or, Red Velvet, FX. It's just, wishing for the best of them. And then, other than, the whole Avatar, gimmick aside, I'm really excited to how some of the members how they're going to be. I've seen with the Karina, she's going to be the main dancer, really highly positive, and how she performed with Kai from EXO is just makes me really excited to see how she turns out.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see what their sound's going to be like, and in terms of how the styling and stuff's going to be. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I mean, they've obviously SM's taken some gambles on some of their concepts. I mean, EXO's whole intergalactic. Concept early days, and then NCT's whole future tech kind of thing,
and just adding more members as we go by,
and throw more members into the mix. But I mean, we'll find out. Like I said, we have it. They debut in about a little bit more than a week now, so. And I feel so bad that they're debuting 4 days before BTS drops their album, and then NCT drops the second half of their album.
And Taemin.
And then SM really needs to learn how to schedule better, I think, because I think Taemin's going to get shafted here, unfortunately, yet again.
Oh man, I really felt bad for Taemin too. It's because I really love this his Never Gonna Dance Again album with Criminal, and he's not getting that much recognition, and he has to be pitted against BTS in the awards show. Oh man, it sucks. I love both of them. It's just hopefully he gets more recognition.
I know. Well, because right now I think his biggest competition, if he's performing right now, is going to be 17 and TXT, because those are the ones that have been winning right now on the music shows. Because 17 was winning with Home Run for quite a bit, which I'm really happy because Home Run's great. Well-deserved wins. And then TXT's been winning with Blue Hour. They just finally started getting their first wins this past week, so yay! Yay, my babies are growing.
Awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome that these groups are getting like recognition and getting the merits that they deserve.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Taemin's comeback, second half of this comeback.
Excellent,
Obviously, we had the first half back in September with Criminal, with Never Gonna Dance Again Part 1, and now the second half is coming out on Monday, which I think he's collabing with Boa, who Boa is like an icon in the K-pop world. Like she's been around, she's amping up for her 20th anniversary. That's how long she's been around.
Yeah.
And she's 33. Her
career is her career is as old as me, you know?
Yeah. she's been going forever, and she's always coming out with great stuff. I think her last song, I think she came out with Woman is a fantastic song. You should check it out. That's like one of the first things I saw when I was delving into it. That was like her really current release back in 2018, and it's a great, sexy song. But yeah, we got Taemin comes back next week. I think maybe next week we could talk about Hyphen's debut, because that's happening on November 30th. Because we're kind of getting out a little bit of a break in the new music releases until at least around Thanksgiving, and then that's when we're gonna get slapped with both BTS and NCT at almost the exact same time.
Wow, yeah, they could have like spread out like their release days if they know like who's they're gonna be competing against.
Oh my god, that's gonna be insane. Trying to again, like I said, BTS is only being with 6 members because Suga's gonna be on the sidelines, unfortunately. But we have to wait to see which NCT unit's gonna be the single that's performing on the stages. So because it's a complete NCT album, it's all 23 members, so it'll be interesting to see which unit for NCT they'll use.
Hopefully they all get to unite as 23 members and just get to perform in one big performance, like Black on Black.
Oh my god,
that's my wish. Make a wish, all of them together, please.
I have a feeling that might happen come award show time, which we might have to start talking into award shows, because I know nominations have started coming out for award shows. And obviously, the biggest news of that currently is the snub of Stray Kids not getting anything nominated for Mama's 2020, which surprised me. I thought God's Menu would easily get nominated.
Because
that was such a strong song. Either God's Menu or Backdoor, but neither one. And I know, let's put it this way: Stays are really, really pissed off between the snub for Mamas, as well as Changbin getting kicked off early and Show Me the Money 9, as well as I think it was one of the rappers from I can't remember. It's one of the rappers from Pentagon, I think, too, is also on the show. Again, showing there's this whole unconscious bias in at least the K-pop and the K-hip-hop world, where K-pop idols who are rappers are kind of looked down on as not being, as good as them, even though, like I said, Changbin is a strong rapper. Go check out his cypher. He dropped a cypher a couple weeks ago on YouTube. It's really, really good. But I know he was really upset that he got kicked off. But I guess it sounded like he went straight from a music show, because he was I think they were doing promotions for Backdoor. Went straight from the music show to the filming for Show Me the Money 9 and got eliminated that same night, because they said he wasn't as strong that night. But I mean, the man was probably running on fumes. So, I mean, still sucks, because I know they were using him heavily in the promotions for the show, and then he was gone off after episode 2. It was like, okay, that's weird. So
very unfortunate.
It is, but hey, I mean, this is what people do to advertise. So, but I guess we probably should get going for the week. But yeah, next week, hopefully start slowing things down a little bit before we have to immediately hit to
the storm.
We're hitting the eye of the hurricane now before the end of November. So with that, I guess we'll call it a week.
Hang on. Hold on. Just one more thing.
Sure.
Also, just want to give a special memory to Park Ji-sun. R.I.P. to her and her mother. Not entirely familiar with her work, but I know she's collaborated or done with a lot of promotions with K-pop groups like NCT. Really sucks to hear about like how she passed on.
I know she was really, really close with SHINee. I know the members of SHINee were really devastated. There was her and her mom unfortunately passed away. I think it was Sunday or Monday. We think it was possibly. I don't want to.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
possibly self-inflicted, but I mean, our hearts condolences go out to her father, to the people she touched.
Yeah.
She was a great comedian. She obviously collabed with a lot of actors, comedians, K-pop idols, and stuff. Like there was a lot of outpouring support for her through K-pop media.
Like they canceled their shows because in respect to her.
It was a pretty hard blow. So condolences definitely to the and her father, because I know he survived. But I mean, I saw that the other day and I was just like, oh, my heart breaks. But I guess we'll move on to hopefully a new week next week, and we'll see where things go from there.
Yeah.